Political turmoil. I got the assessment of Asanga Abeyagoonasekera, who's a senior fellow at the Millennium Project in Washington, D.C., and also a political analyst.
He comes with a lot of political maturity. So he was 6 times prime minister, and the Rajapaksa, political party who's supporting him would definitely, make his, the numbers for his victory. He will have the dual challenges. One is established political stability by aligning with the protesters and listening to their demands and satisfying some of their demands, which is going to be very challenging for him. Where one of the demands, for example, is prosecuting and on accountability on the Rajapaksas, on the corrupt. They want their money back, the looted money. So is the new president going to do that while having the Rajapaksa members supporting him in the parliament? So the second is the economic crisis, so which he has to stabilize. So that's the two challenges he has.
And according to the IMF, he can't have one without the other. There'll be no economic bailout or help from them until there's that economic stability. How will they convince the IMF then to come on board? Is it when they have the likes of India saying, okay, we'll help facilitate with the IMF, we'll help boost your economy? Is that how it will happen? Or do they really have to knuckle down and get the political cohesion that he needs, as remote as that may seem, before they can even look at any kind of economic help from the IMF?
Here I see like how you can come out of this is through political maturity, where he would have to create a coalition government from his leadership. Right now you have deeply polarized parliament, so you have members without any respect of mutual tolerance or even the institutional forbearance, even if it is technically legal but it's constitutional, but there are things that they shouldn't do. For example, coming into the premiership, taking the premiership when you have one seat, the bonus seat, which happened in Sri Lanka. If the president's going to re-democratize, he would have to start from the parliament with creating sort of giving a multi-party sort of a more voice to the multi-party members, as well as bringing them to the forefront. So these are all challenging political decisions he would have to take. The structural reforms he's been talking, such as constitutional reforms, is another serious challenge which he has. So IMF will be monitoring all these things, and IMF needs some sort of political stability.
The central bank, the governor of the central bank of Sri Lanka, said earlier or said yesterday that Sri Lanka could come out of this economic crisis within 5 months. Is that being rather optimistic, and maybe some may think it even unrealistic given what you've just said?
5 months is a rather optimistic projection with the present political crisis, because the protesters have, even today, basically they've not announced a victory. When the president was announced, the message was very clear from the protesters. We are saying protests will continue because they identified Wickremesinghe as part of the old regime. So anybody who's associated with the old regime is seen as part of it. So this is a very unfortunate situation. So the political instability will continue if the protest continues.
Asanga Abeyagoonasekera, who's a senior fellow at the Millennium Project in Washington, D.C.